Hey, welcome to TruckU. It's a nice day out for a little test drive. We got our buddy's 2001 GMC 1500 truck, and this is a truck he uses to pull a lot of heavy loads, and quite honestly, he's having a bit of an issue with it. Not only is it want to do a little sag on it when he loads this thing down, but also the steering's a little rough, man. You can almost hear it clunk.
Yeah, the steering's a little bit loose. Still fun to drive. Good to get out of the shop.
Definitely good to get out of the shop, man. We'll find out how good it is to drive when we hit these railroad tracks. So,
how do you think this load's going to do it?
I don't know, man. I hope my back survives.
You know how it goes when you're hauling a load and you hit a good bump, a railroad track, or if you're flying over the speed bumps or something like that. You can feel it, especially if you're on a long drive, a couple hours. Here we go.
Yeah, when you're pulling out in front of traffic, you get that body lean and that body roll.
Nice.
Yeah, that's going to get old quick.
Yeah. I think we got a fix for that, though.
I say we take it back to the shop, man. Let's get to work on this thing.
One of the things that our buddy was complaining about with this truck, and certainly one of the things we noticed when we had it out on the road, was the fact that the steering was a little bit loose. We knew there were some issues in there, so we brought it back here and we traced it down to the pitman arm and the idler arm. And now in the stock configuration, those things are a little bit worn out. So we're going to go ahead and swap those out with these upgraded components that we got from FST Motorsports. What happens when you lift up the truck is you're changing the geometry, and you got a lot of these little ball and socket joints going all over. Now when you put an increased angle to that, it's going to wear them out a little bit prematurely or a little bit earlier. So you want to beef it up and get it stronger. And that's what this is all about with this roller bearing style right here. So
yeah, they changed to a roller bearing from that orbital style. Now the orbital style, you've got the motion both front and back, and it gives you a lot of wasted motion. With the bearing style, it's only left to right, so you're gonna get better response and better feel for the driver, which is definitely an upgrade.
Yeah, that's gonna be tight, and that's gonna give you better communication with the road, right? Yes. Is that what they call it for the driver? I don't know, that's real technical, but you know how it is. So FST Motorsports has got our kit for that. This is for the 1500 that we're gonna use. If you wanna go the route of the 2500, you can get this, and that's a nice looking piece right there. They always do good work. Now another thing that we're going to do in the rear, he was hearing some noises, right? So we're going to plop in this Ected Max locker from Auburn Gear.
Yeah, you never want to hear noise coming from your differential because it's something you want to address right away because it's not going to end well. So what we're going to do is upgrade it to this. This gives us two different options. It can give you a full locker or it can be an open differential. And the great thing about it is it's something you can change by simply pushing a button. It'll be open or closed whenever you want it to be.
You know what's nice about that is you obviously leave it open when you're driving around and you know you're driving down the road and you're not pulling any loads or anything, but you get on a wet boat ramp or out into some mud when you're going to the landfill and dropping off a bunch of bushes in the dump trailer, you're going to want to lock that baby in so that you can get out and get home. That's the name of the game. All right, let's get to work, dude.
Hey, welcome back. We're working on the suspension on this GMC truck. We've done the idler arms and the pitman arms up front. Now we work our way to the back. We've got a quick, easy fix for when you're doing heavy towing. We're going to install the stable load from TruckU International. It's something that's going to go in really easy and make your whole life a whole lot easier when you load down your truck.
Now, we've all driven an overloaded truck before, and there's a couple things going on. One, your suspension's bottomed out. So when you hit a bump, you know, you feel everything. If you're on a long drive, it's going to wear you out. And it's all going from side to side. It's not the most comfortable thing going on in the world. This is a quick, inexpensive, easy fix to that problem. It's so easy. On the scale of 1 to 10 as far as installation goes, I think it's like a 1. In fact, you guys should have your wives install this, you know? Let me know how that goes.
Yeah, you send a hate mail to Matt Steele for that one.
I'm used to it.
You know, the install goes in pretty quick, and if there's a situation where you have to do drilling, they give you the drill you need to do it. Most of them will bolt right into place for most applications, and it's something that engages and disengages in a matter of seconds. The idea here is when you've got no load in the truck, you disengage a stable load and you've got your factory suspension settings. Well, before you load it down, what you do is you engage the stable load and it's going to engage the overload spring to allow you to have a nice stiff suspension in the back. It's not going to sag, it's not going to get that body roll, and it's going to make your ride a whole lot better.
Now we can come out here and put that stable load from TruckU International to the test. The thing is, it was so easy to put in, so let's see what it does over these tracks.
All right, the bar's pretty low right now because it was pretty rough the first time we went over. Nice,
look at that.
Was like butter.
That's a big difference, man.
Big difference.
For something that took a couple minutes to do,
a couple minutes to install and takes seconds to engage, man. That's really cool.
Now let's test the roll going around this corner.
All right.
Let's keep it tight.
Wow, that's much better.
Dude, it allows the suspension to do what it's supposed to do.
Now, you saw this thing before we put the stable load and you loaded it down, and man, it was almost doing a wheelie. Now this thing has got a nice, even level stance, and it's great too, is because when you're driving and you've got it loaded down, your headlights aren't shining up into the night sky. Right. You're not blinding somebody behind you.
Nice. I'm a fan.
We've been doing a lot of work on this 2001 GMC 1500 truck, and with this truck and a lot of light duty ones, you'll notice that they have a lot of problems in terms of gaskets, and specifically the intake manifold gaskets. These trucks are used a lot. They're put under a lot of stress, a lot of heat, a lot of thermal expansion and contraction and vibration, which causes not only to have vacuum leaks, but coolant as well as oil leaks. Well, thankfully, Felpro's got a fix for this common problem.
Yeah, these are the Felpro Perma-Dry intake manifold gaskets, and it's kind of nice because it's like the company said, look, there's a lot of problems with the stock gaskets, right? And we need to build something to fix this so these guys don't have the problems. And this is what they come up with. It's nice because they've got the in-house proprietary rubberized compound on the seal, and you got 3 different layers on the seating. So when you put that in there, that rubber seal is going to get in there nice and tight. That's going to be really good. Now also, you got the aluminized edge on the torque limiters, so you can't over-torque this when you put it down there. Like I said, basically, they've just taken the problems that they had with the stock one and the OEs and said, look, we're going to jack it up and make it better. That way, when you put this replacement in, it's going to last.
Yeah, it's going to take you a long time to go ahead and get to these intake manifold gaskets. It's not an easy job, but it's one you only want to do one time. So Felpro's made sure that when you put their gaskets in, it's going to be a perfect fit, it's going to be a perfect seal, and you only have to do it one time. Because let's face it, man, when your truck is down, you're not making money, so you want to make sure you do it and do it right.
No, I mean, work trucks are put through a lot of rough conditions. You know, all the idling and driving around, pulling trailers, this, that, the other. The internal components are put through a lot of stress, so you want the stuff that's going to hold up. Now, you mentioned it's a big job and getting in there. You might have to spend some money to do a job like this, but so what? In the long run, it's a lot cheaper than buying a new truck, right?
Yeah,
I know that's what you do. You're like, I'll just go out and get a new truck. Give me 2 or 3 of them.
Well, these things will keep you sealed up. You won't have to worry about it.
All right, good. Let's get this out of here so we can move on. Job well done.